I wanted to start by I noticed that Tony Scott is one of the producers, and given his amazing body of work, kind of what it means to each of you that this film was one of the last that he got to work on.
I mean, it was a tremendous thing when they decided they wanted to be a part of this movie. Michael Costigan, who was their producer at Scott Free at the time, had seen Sound of My Voice and was like, what do you guys want to do next? And we were like, oh, we have this script to the East, and he took it to them. And of course, I mean, I grew up watching their films,
Yeah.
and in particular, like their espionage stories and their ability to tell a film that is like entertaining and robust, but with amazing performances and amazing characters. And so it was an incredible honor for them to be a part of this, and Tony in particular.
What about you?
No, I felt the same way. I unfortunately never had a chance to meet him. But I agree. It's Scott Free. It's just an amazing company, and with those guys and with Michael, like you said, it's just an honor to work with.
Len, I want to ask you, kind of shifting to another genius, in my opinion, the woman sitting next to you, and of course her partners all. I mean, they have created some of the most intense films I've seen, all within the last couple of years. What did you take away, or kind of as a witness to this world of theirs, as she blushes, that is just so astoundingly special?
Yeah, I didn't know Britt. I didn't know Zal. I read the script. I was wrapping up a season of True Blood, and I was about to start a 6-month hiatus. And I'd read a lot of scripts, and one day I read The East, and I was just blown away by it. I thought it was so interesting, so smart, so relevant, and entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
But it also made me think, and just raised a lot of questions about morally what's okay, what's justifiable, how far are you willing to go. And I was down in San Diego. It was 4th of July, and on the 4th I called my agents and I said I want to meet these guys. You guys were up in LA, so I jumped in my car on 4th of July, drove up to LA, and we met, and it was just something about their energy, about their passion, and also like how they got started was very inspiring to me. How, coming out to LA, getting a lot of like girlfriend offers, like, not very interesting roles, and how they just like, well, all right, well, we'll just write something ourselves, and how, and also with Mike Gale, how they lived together, and Britt would write like Another Earth with Mike in the morning, and then have lunch, and then go down and write like Sound of My Voice with Zal, and just two amazing films, and they're so supportive of each other, just such a wonderful group. It's like when we shot The East, Mike was busy traveling the world with Another Earth, but he also did Second Unit, all like the oil spill stuff.
Oh yeah.
All that stuff Mike did in a garage in Shreveport.
Unpaid, just like
Unpaid.
flew to help out his friends.
And he would go to like the Gotham Awards in New York in a suit with Another Earth, and then go straight from the after party to the airport, fly down to Shreveport, show up on set at like 6 a.m. in a suit, no sleep, and like, all right, guys, what can I do? How can I help? And it just like, it was so amazing.
You know what's so cool is that when we made this film, because Mike and Zal and I have been making stuff together for a while, it was the first time that we made something where we felt like we found other tribe members. Like the moment that we met Alex, Zal and I walked out of that meeting and we were like, oh, we were really worried, like if the film doesn't work without a Benji that makes you believe he can lead a revolution. And we met Alex and we were like, there's the movie. Like there's the heartbeat and soul of the movie. We hope that he wants to do it. And then we worked together, and Alex made the character so much better than it was ever written on the page. I mean, we workshopped all those scenes together. It was really cool to make this movie and feel like the tribe expanded, that you met collaborators that you were going to work with for the rest of your life. Like an actor that you want to act opposite when you're in your 50s with each other, and you want to know each other all through your life. It doesn't happen that often.
No.
And not only like we obviously bonded, but also the people behind the camera were, you guys picked like an amazing crew, and it's such a great script and such an important story, and people behind the camera were so invested. I've never experienced that before, where at lunch, a grip would come up to me and be like, that scene, when Benji did that, what does that mean? Why would he do that? And like, or even come with like ideas and like, what if he did that instead? And like, suddenly you're having a conversation with someone who's not the director or not an actor, like, and it just, everyone was cared so much about the project, and we in a way became like a little collective, became the East in a way.
Yeah.
We didn't attack corporations while we were out there, but on weekends we would get together and cook and, dance and hang out and sit on the floor and work on scenes and play around with it, and just like, it was such an amazing collaborative process,